says starting recording. I never know when to actually start talking. The starting recording. Oh, there we go. All right. Yes. See, your setup looks a lot more expensive than mine. This is the very unorthodox, low budget, not the brightest Crayon podcast. That's what this is right here. Because I used to actually do this by myself, so I never needed high tech equipment.
Yeah,
This is
I just got all this just to be able to stream games and play
I was
play
gonna
all my video games and stuff.
I was gonna say, you a Twitch streamer? Is that what all that's for?
I do. I'm not nowhere near as popular as I'd like. Me and my wonderful 26 followers.
Hey man, you know what? If they're loyal and they're fun, who cares?
Yeah, no, it's fun. I have a lot of fun doing it. Used to do nothing but Call of Duty, but that got absolutely irritating. So it's now either Diablo or some flying with Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Where did Call of Duty go south for you?
With that new update with for Warzone.
Okay.
Yeah, it turned it to pure crap.
I think that kind of split the audience a little bit when they did that one. Because you had your diehard fans that were like, all right, they'll come out with something better. And then you had the other ones that were like, fuck it, I'm done.
Oh yeah. I mean, I still need to finish playing the campaign mode on the new game, but I gave up on that when Diablo 2 came out. Been playing that a lot.
Yes. Do not ever, you probably already have, but do not ever go Diablo 3. It is such a waste of time.
Yeah, I like the graphics a little bit better than 2, but it wasn't as fun.
No, not at all. Like, I mean, you like so many. What we waited what 2-3 years for that game, for
Oh yeah,
Diablo 3 to come out, and then it finally came out, and you put it in. You're like, what is this?
yeah.
Why? What? Just why? Seriously, what? Yes, here. Go. Go. Yes. Vamos. Leave. Anyway. Yeah, I don't edit any of this stuff out either. So I'm sure if because I mean, I don't have a whole lot of subscribers anymore. Like I said, when I told you that I brought this back, it meant that like I'm bringing it back from ground zero.
Oh
Because
wow.
when I used to do this, it was just me. I didn't have guests on here. I didn't know how to have guests on here. And
Yeah.
the phone that I have or had to record the videos could not handle guest spots like this.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I'm very behind the times with technology. Like these, the only reason I have these little sperm drops is because
The sperm
my
drop.
wife bought them, and then she bought the upgraded version and gave me these. It's the only reason I have them. But I'm going through, like, I'm only 34, man. I felt like my dad has a more upgraded phone than I have, and he's 60. And like I felt like the friggin' 70-year-old grandparents that I was teaching how to use their phone. So I'm like, how do you hook these things up? Where's Bluetooth? Like, you know,
Yeah,
I
I
mean, I
mean,
got it. Yeah.
yeah, my phone I got, this is the S9 Plus. I've had that one now 4 years. And I mean, the case is falling apart. I've dropped this thing so many times. My ring light's fallen many times trying to do TikToks here and there. And, but I have no desire to upgrade anytime soon.
Right. Oh yeah, you are Vet with a beard on TikTok, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, Vet with a beard. All right, like to give little shout outs in case anyone actually watches this. I
I'll be subscribing here. I'll get you another one of those followers on there. I'll send it out to a few people too once this is all over.
Yeah. I wanted to do this from a different angle because like I'm a huge fan of podcasts, but you see all the same people
Oh
talking
yeah.
about it. And like, yeah, I'm a fan of, name drop here and name drop there, but you can only listen to them talk about the same shit so much.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go at a different angle, like everything else, and say, hey, why not TikTok? And I didn't go after blue check marks. I do have a couple of them that actually talk back, which is a very strange thing.
Yes.
But I still didn't invite them on here because I'm not, I don't want, no, I'm not a clout chaser. I just want to invite cool people on and have good conversations. I'm not, like, you sharing this willingly, that is a willing thing. I'm not,
Oh yeah.
promote it. No, that's your choice.
Oh yeah.
So,
No, I'll definitely push this out there. This is gonna be a first for me. That's for sure.
yeah, man. Hopefully it helps you get more. Listen, some of them can be really good. You go on to the ones that don't have structures, where I'm like, and now we go to this. Like, no, and you're not gonna see me break for commercials or any of that shit. Um, yeah, because when the day comes that I actually do get sponsors, it's not going to be in the middle of the video where all of a sudden I turn to another camera and I do the sponsor. It'll just be looped in, and you won't ever have to hear it unless you watch the video.
It's
I hate the ones where it's like, let's stop this awesome conversation to talk about razors. Like, no, why would you do that?
oh that would be a good one. I'd love to get sponsored by a razor company.
Right?
Like well,
You should. Well, no, yours would be beard lotion. That'd be
oh
the
yeah.
perfect one. If a razor company, I mean, it'd be nice, but it wouldn't make any sense.
I was talking to my wife about that. I'm like, yeah, that'd be the funniest thing. All of a sudden, get some company to come in and be like, here, we're gonna give you free razors for life. I'm like, really? I have not seen a razor in oh god, it's had to have been over 10 years.
Right? It would just, that would tell you how little they know about you. Like, really, have you seen me at all? You know, like,
Yeah, it's there. Well, I mean, you'd be surprised by some of these companies out there.
I mean, I need hair growth stuff. If anyone wants to reach out with that kind of a thing, I'll take it. I'll try it.
I was trying to let mine grow and it just started getting irritating. And I mean, I've got a nice spot back here and it's it's all coming off.
Yeah, no. But yours isn't coming off; it's going down.
Oh yes, yes. It's fleeing the craziness up here and trying to come down here.
Yeah, yeah. See, it's all sucking through your head.
Yeah,
But
that's why I'm afraid to shave this off because I think if I do, I'll probably get really stupid and just like sit there and drool all day, like duh.
because you're used to your beard catching it, you don't have to worry about it. It's your soup strainer. It
Oh,
catches all your stuff.
oh yeah, like the other day we were eating God, I forgot what we were eating, but I got done with it and I had to like wash it and you could see the food coming out of it. I'm like, holy crap, I'm messy.
Right? It happens, man. You save it for later, and then you
I-
wash it out.
exactly.
Yeah. Like when I was working outside, because I live in Florida, and during the summer, as crazy as it sounds, I would deliberately have long hair when I was working outside because it holds in all the sweat and keeps you
Oh
cool.
yeah.
And then towards the end of our summer, which our summer never really ends, but toward the end of the hot part of it, I would shave my head down to this size, but then I'd work outside and it would just pour, and my eyes would sting and I'd be spitting it
Oh
out like those weird parody versions of boxing matches. I'm like, I miss my long hair.
yeah.
Like, why did I do that? I'm actually I this is self-induced, by the way. This has nothing to do with my age or genetics. This was all my fault because I have really bad dandruff. So when I go to take a shower, I carve my head, and that's a
Oh
like massaging it is one thing, but actually like taking your nails to it, like your fucking Edward Scissorhands, that's a it's a very bad thing to do. And now all of this is like, I don't want to grow anymore. So I'm thinking about taking my clippers and just shaving all the way
mhm.
down and just letting it restart.
Oh, yeah, mine. I'll do that maybe once a month. Just take the number one and just buzz the
Yeah.
whole thing. And yeah, I mean, now that I'm not working outside anymore, I can
Right.
try to let things change because I was for the longest time all outside, doing outside work and stuff. And now, no. I got way too old for that crap.
What do you do now?
I'm in a call center now. I take
Okay.
phone calls.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, besides BM and playing with it,
Well, yeah, BM.
you got to make time for that stuff. That's funny, actually. I work at a call center too. I left my outdoor job to be in a call center as well, and like, okay, I gotta ask this question because I might be the only one. Do you ever find yourself complaining about your job, even though you look around and you're at home, and you really have nothing to complain about?
Oh, every
You're
single day.
like you're sitting down in probably a comfortable chair
Oh yeah.
at your computer, and you're taking these phone calls that really aren't that bad because they might be yelling at you, but they're really yelling at the company that you know.
Oh, I've
And
I've had those. I've had them where they'll sit there and scream and holler, and I'm just going, why are you yelling at me? I'm not the one that caused your headache.
right.
I'm the one that's here to fix your problem.
Oh my god, the my favorite thing to do um is if they when they come in guns blazing, and a lot of them do, um and they say, like, were you the one that I spoke to before? Nope, I don't make outbound calls, but I'm here to help. And
Yeah.
that, as much as pissed off as they are, it immediately diffuses because they're like, oh, you're not the one I'm supposed to be yelling at. Like, nope, but I'll take your information and I'll help you out. You know,
Uh,
it's that shit-eating grin with confidence, and they don't like it. And I love that reaction. I really do. My favorite ones are the ones that come in pissed off and then leave a lesser form of pissed off.
it's like when I before I came over to do this part, I was actually out in the field doing the install work for, the cable. And I went to a house. I remember this guy very, very, very well. I show up there and he's just like bragging on the previous tech. And I'm sitting there going, that was me. And he just starts just going, he was the worst guy. I'm sitting there in the back of my head going, this dude does not remember it was me. And we had a very lengthy conversation. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, all right, whatever. And then when I got all done, he's like, man, I'm so glad you were here. You were the greatest thing. And I'm just like, you were just talking all this shit about me like 10 minutes ago.
No, that was the other you. It's okay. If you've ever seen Coraline, just put it. That was you with the button eyes. It wasn't you. It was the other you.
Oh, yes. That
Yeah.
was my evil twin.
Yes. Yes. That was your evil twin with a shorter beard. You know.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But like, what was the difference in time between the first time and the second time that you went to see the guy?
Jeez, I don't even remember. I don't even think it was like 6 months.
Still more experience though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, were you actually that bad at your job, or did you just have a
Oh,
hair
guy,
across your
no,
back?
no, at that time I'd been doing it for 10 years.
Oh, okay.
And, I'm like, no, I was really good at it. But, when you
Yeah.
turn 40, your body decides to shut down on you.
Yeah. I mean, I stopped working outside here last year when I was 33, because like it was, and it's not because my body was breaking, it's because it's dangerous as shit out there. Like
Oh, yeah.
I was working in Orlando for 10 hours a day,
Oof.
driving the streets, working on the side of the road, setting up cones, playing with traffic. And then I said, fuck it. I'm not doing this anymore. And believe it, like, I get paid more to sit on my ass at home and take phone calls than I ever did working out there. And it makes no sense at all. It
Oh,
doesn't make any sense to me.
oh, yeah. It's interesting. Like what I do, it's, commission type based phone calls. And I mean, I can make good money.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, you make it as you go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, though. Is it like sales, or is it just based on how many people you sign up? Like, I don't want you, don't talk, give me the name or anything. Just
No,
like, how's the commission? How does it work?
it's all based on how many people you can keep with this specific company.
Oh, okay. Got
And
you.
then
All
yeah,
right.
you get so much money based off of that.
Like renewals and all that shit.
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. So, I mean, yeah,
Nice.
you can make some pretty good money. The top earner in this company made just over 200,000 last year.
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
like,
Nice.
I'm like, if I could just make a quarter of that, I'll be happy.
Right? I recently went down to the weekend team because like my wife works and I work, and believe it or not, we're at a point right now where full time and overtime, 40 hours and above, there it's not really necessary. And
Yeah,
I do technically have a zoo at my house. I've got 4 kids and 6 animals that all rely on me. So when they're gone to school, I'm working, and when they come home, I'm not working anymore. I'm doing a different kind of job, the parent thing.
oh yeah,
Um, so I was happy to be like, okay, I'm gonna cut 10 hours off and just work 3 days a week, and then spend the rest, home with the family, which is great. But I
yeah,
can I can still do the 40 if I choose. It's all by choice. Um, but they have a sales division too, where it's hourly plus commission and incentive and all that shit.
yeah.
And as tempted as I was, I'm like, I don't like people that much, because when I'm taking the phone calls, I'm doing 140 phone calls a day in a 10-hour period,
Ooh.
and I'm not going to hear that person again.
Yeah,
The chances that that phone call is going to come back to me tomorrow or next month is very slim, because of how many people we have working.
yeah.
But in sales, you've got to follow that person and like check in on them. How's the service? Or is it like, no, I'm way too lazy for that.
No, yeah,
So
especially if you tell them something and then all of a sudden they get mad that it wasn't the exact thing they were wanting, and now you're having a pissed off customer. They're screaming at you, and
yeah,
yeah, no, I
like this
I ain't got
isn't,
time for that crap.
yeah, like this isn't what I signed up for. Actually, it is. Like I can show you exactly what you signed and exactly what you agreed to. Um, but I'm not going to. I'm going to let my boss do that, and I'm going to
Right.
move on to the next one. Yeah, I'd rather just take the phone calls and remain anonymous. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah,
So,
it's funny.
so
Yeah.
how y'all coping through this? They're actually, like, I don't need to know your position on it. Don't go too deep if you don't want to. It's just a question. They are releasing now. They're lifting all the mask mandates and
Hmm.
shit. But how have you guys been coping through the whole thing?
Through the whole thing, us wearing the masks, not wearing the masks, none of us ever got sick until just recently.
Yeah.
All
Did
of a
the whole
sudden,
family get it? Like
yeah,
everybody?
the whole family, we're all just sitting there just not feeling well. And so we all took those at home, and only one person tested positive, and that was my wife. And we're all sitting there going, huh? We've been extra careful, not wearing masks, or wearing the mask, washing our hands, doing all this stuff, but all of a sudden, boom, it's like, here it is. It's like,
Yep.
so we're like, oh well, I guess we got it. And luckily, nobody lost any taste, nobody lost the smell. It was just a bad chest cold for a couple days, and then it was gone.
Yep. I
So,
know, because I work at home, but my kids go to that petri dish we call public school,
oh yeah,
and my wife works out in public. She works at a fast food restaurant, which people come and go there all day.
yeah.
And from what she told me, some of the employees have had it and still went to work, which I understand. You
Oh
need
yeah,
money, and fast food restaurants do not offer sick pay. And a lot of, especially the franchises, a lot of them are cheap as shit,
yeah.
especially if you're only a couple months in and then you get hit with it. But on the flip side, what are you doing? Go the fuck home. um because you're gonna spread that shit. Like my wife, she's been very lucky because my wife's diabetic
Ooh,
and she hasn't caught it, and my kids have not caught it either. um because we kind of raised them old school. You remember like drinking out of the friggin' hose outside your
oh
house?
God, yeah.
And
That's
so as a kid you never got sick.
mhm.
You something would fall on the floor, so you'd rinse it off and eat it. Like you
Oh,
didn't throw it in the trash going like ew. um So that's kind of what we did, like, at the house. At a restaurant, if it hits the floor, you leave that shit there because you don't know
Oh
who's
yeah.
walking on those floors. But if it's at the house, you know who's here, you know what feet have been there. Fucking rinse it off and throw it down your throat. So the kids have been fine. They've come home noses and shit that they catch at school, but
Oh
they haven't
yeah.
come home with anything major. Um, I think I had it, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm just basically going based on how I felt and how long I felt it. But to be honest, I have no idea. I
Yeah.
don't know. I drank one beer on a oh god, one, you know. I drank one beer on a Saturday night, and I think an hour later I went straight to hangover.
Oh damn.
And then Sunday all the way to Thursday, it was feeling like shit, fatigued,
Yeah.
not even really being able to sit in my chair to take phone calls. I mean, I muscled through it. I let my boss know, like, when you listen to these phone calls for QA, don't hate me because I'm not going to be my normal cheery self. I'm sick as shit right now. But I mean, who am I going to affect over the phone? Just know that my voice is not going to sound the same. But I think I may have had it because it was 5 days of just straight fatigue and feeling heavy and fucking shakes,
Yeah.
kind of like withdrawals, but from nothing.
Hmm.
Like a 5 day hangover is kind of what it felt like. I didn't throw up though, thank God.
Oh.
But Wednesday night, because I'm not a big fan of sleeping medicine. I don't sleep ever. I'm
Oh.
like a 3 hour night kind of guy. But it's
It's
never, yeah. But it's not solid three. It's like I'll sleep for one and then I'm awake for two, and that's how it goes all night. But that Wednesday night, I was like, dude, I took a Nyquil. I'm like, I have to sleep. I got it, and I woke up Thursday morning feeling better, and then by Thursday night it was gone.
huh.
So I may have had it, but I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
it's one of those absolutely weird things because I've known people that came down with it and they ended up in the hospital,
Yeah,
on a ventilator, and then they were back home like a couple weeks later. And I know other people that never knew they had it, but
yeah,
took one of those tests to see if they had the traces, and it was there.
yeah.
It's like I don't know, the whole thing's just it's weird the way it's affecting people.
And I mean, now I guess they're lifting all the mask mandates because they're running out of vaccines. That's I don't pay too much attention to it, but that's like I saw that going through, and I was like, okay, and I just kind of looked over, like going through YouTube, you'll see those videos,
Oh yeah.
and I just kind of read the title, and I was like, oh okay, that's about all the knowledge that I carry because I don't pay attention to that shit,
Yeah.
because it'll rob your senses blind if you dig too deep. So I just kind of walked away. But I
Oh
guess they lifted all the mandates because they're running out of shit.
no.
I was like, okay, well, the whole state of Florida lifted it 2 months after they fucking announced it the first time. So we haven't dealt with it since 2020.
We've Yeah, I think they lifted it quite a few months ago here in Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
yeah.
y'all got that fucking golden weed out there. You don't need to be worried about vaccines. You just smoke it out of your system.
Eh, we're about to have a beautiful haze here pretty soon. Next what month? It
Yeah.
it is the funniest thing come 420. Oh, good lord! You just see. I mean, there's like a haze over my town.
Yeah.
It's the funniest thing.
Oh, I bet. Did they legalize doing it out in public yet, or is it only in private?
Last I saw, it was still in private. I know they were taught. There's were talks of like bars, like actual special bars just for the weed.
Okay.
But I haven't heard anything else about it because I know in my town we got a lot of military bases,
Yeah.
so they're fighting it a lot to not
Well, yeah.
have it as legal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, look, you can't have your soldiers high. I'm
No,
sorry. they've got to be able to, like, jump at a moment's notice, not want a brownie in order to, in order to
It's
function properly. They've got to be able to. So I get it, but at the same time, it kind of sucks.
yeah, I mean, we got there's plenty of dispensaries. There's one, what, 30 minute, no, 20 minutes from me.
Nice.
So it's, right there. Everybody goes, everybody knows this place. They go right there or they go down south
Yeah.
to the other one.
I can't do the smoke actually. And it doesn't hurt. I become really stupid when I do the smoke, and I don't know if it's just me or if it's literally the effects of it. But when I smoke, I forget to breathe.
Oh, wow.
Like you and I will be talking right here, and I will talk until I pass out. I forget to stop and breathe.
Oh, damn.
And then when I realize I'm not breathing, I start to panic and I start to try to time my breathing, which makes my chest tighten up and it just makes the whole experience suck. But then I eat an edible and I'm like, yeah. So it might be my lungs. I don't know. It might be just the smoke that goes into my lungs. It makes me react that way. But when I eat, man, I have a great time. I have a really good time.
There
Oh my
there were
god.
these chocolate chip cookies my wife had gotten one time, and our dog got into them, ate the whole
Oh,
thing, and she just laid there the whole day like, "Duh." I'm like, "Yes."
dude. Yeah, man. Yeah.
She was so mad. Oh my lord. And we're panicking, going, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen?" And everybody's like, "Ah, don't worry, she'll be fine. It'll pass through." And next day, she was perfectly fine.
That's kind of funny. One of my friends actually in one of the parts of the country where it's completely legal, um, like baked their own animal treats,
Oh, okay.
just like for like experimental, because they have a really anxiety driven animal and they can't let guests over to the house for fear that, because it's a rescue,
Oh,
really, really high anxiety. And they took it to the vet and they're like, want to try Prozac? And they're like, no, I wouldn't give Prozac to my kid. Why the fuck would I give it
mm,
to my dog? So they literally made their own treats
huh?
and gave it to the animal, and it didn't make them drool because it was just a little thing.
Yeah.
But they had a guest over to the house and the dog was like all happy and licking them and fucking the anxiety completely went away. And I was like, dude, like you should sell this shit to dispensaries, animal treats, for real. For
Yeah.
anyone that has that kind of an animal that people just can't be around, fucking here, take it. Like, why
That
not?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard many people doing that, either doing like the small treats or giving them like just a small bit of that edible just to be able to calm the dog down.
Right? Oh
And
my god, dude. So I don't even know if I should say this, but I'm going to anyway, because I found this out a couple of days ago and it blows my mind. So my wife is going to get her card. Not her green card. She's legally allowed to be here. I'm talking about well, it is kind of a green card, isn't it? It's the marijuana card.
yeah,
So it would be kind of a green card. Anyway,
uh,
that green card, the smoking one. So
yeah,
she was going to get that, and one of my kids is like nonverbal autistic, but really high energy, has a difficult time calming down. And she had the kids with her when she went to go see that doctor to
mhm.
be labeled as like a yes or no, you can get one or you can't. And those doctors were trying to get her to get one for my kid. I'm
What?
not, but like, I'm not against it. I'm not. My question was, do you realize how young this child is? Like, she's not 18. She was 10 years old at the time.
What?
And yeah, and the doctors were like, you sure you don't want to get one for her? It'll calm her down. Like, you do know she's 10, right? But like I found that out a couple days ago because she's 12 now. I only found this out a few days ago. This was 2 years ago, and I just found out a couple days ago. And I'm like, did they like they knew she was a kid, right? She's not like a midget. She's a child.
Yeah.
But if they allow it and it's actually legal and we or her can't get in any trouble, I might actually do it
Huh.
because right now she's on Zoloft and
Oh,
it's not working. And
gotcha.
I hate any kind of stimulant for a child. I can't stand it. Like we didn't want to do Ritalin or Concerta or any of that shit. We did not want to do it. Zoloft was about as high up that chain as I wanted to go. But it's not working anymore. And now it's like either we raise the milligram or we go to something stronger. And I'm like, if they're actually going to allow my 12-year-old daughter to get a card to get edibles to calm her ass down,
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna do it.
I don't see a problem with one of those, as long as it's, you guys monitor and she's not eating a whole bag at one time.
That's actually that because we don't have treats in that. Like we don't have snacks in the house. Like Halloween candy here is a nightmare because we bring it home. We let them each because they were just out all night walking around getting candy from strangers. So we let them choose a couple of them, go eat them, and then we hide the rest of it. And I mean, we literally hide the rest of it, and it sits in that hiding spot until next Halloween. And if any of that candy is still good, then we give it out. We don't give it to the children. If any of it's actually still good, not stale, it's not shitty,
Yeah.
it's actually still good, we give it out at the door. And
Hmm.
then they go and get the new stuff, which is probably a bunch of old stuff because I doubt we're the only people that do that. And it just cycles through. Um, so my wife was telling me, she's like, if we do get her edibles like brownies, cookies, we're gonna have to hide them, and I mean hide them, like under lock and key, hide them, because she'll get up in the middle of the night and she'll go try to find that shit.
They had
And
they had one here. My wife had gotten them. They were ah like little lemon drops.
oh, nice, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they look just like the lemon drops. Had the little sugar on the outside, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I mean, very slow release, but it helped with at that time with the anxiety and stuff like that she had.
that's awesome. I gotta ask,
Hmm.
what is that thing
What
to
thing?
your left?
This thing?
That yes,
Oh, it's
is
a
that a
wolf.
wolf?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. When we went to the zoo this last summer,
Eh,
yeah, I got this. It's one that's got the little band on it that holds
yeah,
on your wrist. Yeah.
that's cool.
And I was like,
So you
here,
can
I
just
might
put
get
her.
that. That's gonna be my streaming buddy.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought it was a raccoon, and then I looked a little closer.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, that's my little wolf buddy.
There you go.
I
Keeps you
used to
company
have
when you.
a used to have a couple Legos that would sit right around the actual microphone down here.
Yeah,
But they wouldn't stay much. If I would bump it, they would fall off. So I was like, forget that. So I just put them all right up here behind me.
yep, I see that. Yeah, you don't want to risk them getting on the floor and then you step on it. Nothing worse than stepping on a Lego.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm over that stage with my kids. They're 13 and
Oh.
10, and it
Okay,
was so bad.
now I have to ask, what's the worst? The worst thing that ever happened between you and your child's toy?
Oh God.
You got a nightmare story? Let's hear it.
Um, Not nightmare story with their toys. Cause yeah, not a lot as bad as happened, except for your standard Lego stuff. But I do have to say though that the worst thing that's ever happened with our kids actually happened to my wife. She's gonna probably kill me for telling this, but so one night my oldest projectile vomited all over the house. My
Sweet.
wife gets up to go in there to go check on him, slips on the pile, twists her leg, pulls the ligament in her knee. Okay, it was that bad. She hit the ground. She's covered in his stuff, and he's still going to town. And I'm just sitting there going, "Oh, I feel so bad." And then the dog comes in and starts licking it. Oh,
Oh.
we're just sitting there. I'm going, oh God, this poor kid. And my poor wife, and yeah, she ended up having a surgery on that, had to get a whole ligament replacement. We go into the doctor's office. They're like, so what happened? And her whole story the whole time was like, oh, okay, so we were up hiking up on this trail here in Colorado, saw a mountain lion and ran for our lives, tripped and fell. And they kind of laughed. And then she told the actual story.
Yeah, like no, it wasn't anything that cool. See, what really happened was,
Yeah, no, but as far as toys now, just the standard, step on Lego stuff. That's about it.
oh, yeah, I think the worst one I ever had was going out to check the mail and not really paying attention and kicking their trike.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah, that.
yeah. Um, yeah, my worst isn't with toys either. That's probably the worst one, like kicking the trike, not paying attention, looking at the ground, going out to check the mail, and just bam. Yeah, I stopped allowing those kinds of toys in the front yard. You play that shit in the backyard. Um, yeah, I've broken both of my feet,
Ooh,
and one of them was I was chasing my son around the house, and we went into the bedroom and we started doing that back and forth thing around the bed, and then he ran out of the room, and I chased him out of the room, and my the right side of my foot decided it didn't want to leave the room with the rest of me.
ha ha ha.
I kicked the door frame, and it broke that part. And then the left foot was because of my beautiful bride. Um, we were I won't go into details, but we were having fun in the shower, and
Ah,
unfortunately there was conditioner down on the floor of the shower,
oh,
and she pushed me, and I hit the back of the shower and slid down into the bathtub, and my foot went
ha ha.
right on the corner of the tub. I never went to the hospital for that one though. I just said fuck it. So the left side of my left foot is broken, and the right side of my right foot is broken. Isn't that funny? So it balances out. I don't, I can walk perfectly fine. They both hurt. They hurt on opposite sides, and it didn't fuck up my walking.
Hey,
So I was like, hey,
as
whatever.
long as you can still walk straight, that's all that matters, right?
Oh, my God, yeah. But I tell people that, and they're like, wait, what? Like, no, yeah, my feet are broken. I've broken. I never broke, like, aside from my head, which I don't know why, but I don't really consider this a bone. Not like your standard bone.
Yeah.
And my ribs. I did not break a bone until I married this woman. It's all her fault. I swear to God, it's her fault.
See, I've never busted a bone in my life, knock on wood. I have had both my shoulders dislocated, though. That's fun.
Mm. Oh, that's always fun.
The arm, oh, and the worst part is, so I'm in the military. We're doing some training and stuff for hand-to-hand combat. Guy got my arm behind my back. I'm like, oh great, this is gonna be fun. So I tried to wiggle out of it. We tripped over each other's legs. I fell back on him and it went pop. And I went, oh, that's gonna be fun.
Ah,
So we were able to get it put back in, go to the doctor. They give me a sling, and I'm like, well, now I have to get home, and I drive a 5-speed. And
nice.
it, of course, is my right hand. So I'm going, huh, this
This is
is
gonna
going to
be
be
interesting,
fun. So
right?
I rode second gear the whole way home.
Oh,
Just
come on!
push.
You didn't do that lethal weapon thing where you hit it against the building to put it back into place.
Oh no, we had guys pull it back into place, so it was back in place, but it hurt like a bitch to get it moved.
Oh,
So
I bet it did.
I was like, no, I'm just gonna hold it just right up against myself and try to figure out how to drive home.
What branch were you in?
I was Army.
Hoorah!
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Did 9 years in the Army and got out and stayed here in Colorado.
There you go.
Um, you
How
know,
you travel around while you were in?
oh yeah, I did 2 years in Germany.
Nice,
Got
nice, nice.
got to go there. I am that country, good lord, and
Mm-hmm.
the alcohol. Whew, I was 19 years old. Showed up to the showed up and got my barracks room. Walked out to go get some food, and there's a vending machine of nothing but beer. I'm like, oh, Here, take my money, take my money.
right? Yeah.
Man, I'm so glad social media wasn't a thing back then, because the dumb shit we used to do.
Oh my God, we'd all be screwed. We'd all be fucked. Um, I didn't spend a whole lot of time in Germany. That was more of a transit for me. I landed there, and then we got in another plane and took off. And on the way back, same thing. I did go to Ireland, and I know there's no comparison between the two other than the alcohol. But are there parts of Germany where it's more liquor than beer, or is it always more beer than liquor? Like, did you go to a bar?
Oh, I
Or you
went to a
guys
lot
ever
of
go to bars?
bars, and that's where I learned of the greatest alcohol of all time, Jägermeister.
Mm.
I can't drink it anymore to this day. It makes me very nauseous whenever it touches my lips now, for some strange reason. I don't know what happened that night. Actually, I really don't remember much about that night.
Means you had a good night.
Oh, the most I remember was walking down. We just gotten back from the bar. I had to have had close to like 9 or 10 shots of Jaeger, the big doubles.
Yeah.
And the only thing I remember was walking down the hall of our barracks, every room, testing it with my key, trying to find my room. Finally, one of them worked. Let me into a room. I was like, well, this is my room. And then I woke up in the morning to missed calls from my parents. And I'm like, uh-oh. So I call them up, and they asked if I was okay, if I had figured out how to make the world stop spinning. Because apparently, in my drunken stupidness, when I passed out, I ended up calling them to ask them how to make it stop. I'm like, I don't remember this. And my parents to this day still rag on me for that. But I'm like, if I don't remember it, it never happened.
Right? You're drunk. You know you're drunk when you have to hold on to the ground to keep from falling off the earth.
Oh my God, it was that had to have been that bad, if I don't
Mm.
remember calling them. But since then, I can't touch Jaeger.
Right? Because I know, yeah, I had something similar. We went to Shannon, Ireland, and it was a 12-hour refueling stopover. So we were allowed to actually leave the airport. And we had one of our fellows who were stationed there and actually lived there show us around. And the way their bars or their pubs and taverns are set up, it's a bit different. Some of them are your traditional, some of them are
Yeah.
not. The one that they brought us to was not. So they still have the pints, tall,
Oh
short
yeah.
pints, your big boys. The difference is on the wall where the liquor is supposed to be, that's where the lagers and beers are. On tap is where the liquors are. So when you're asking for a pint, you think that you're going to get, lager, Bud Light, piss water, whatever. No, they give you freaking whiskey.
Oh.
You go to,
Oh.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like on tap, there's liquor, and on the wall is where the beer is. It's completely opposite of what I was used to. So I'm like, oh, yeah, just give me a pint or whatever. So they're pulling the thing down, and I go to take that first drink. I'm like, that's not beer. Like, what the? So, needless to say, we almost missed our plane because over the course of that 12-hour refueling, I'd say 8 of them we drank.
Holy.
And and we almost missed our plane going to Germany and then, to the destination. And yeah, it was bad. So I was actually drunk the whole time flying to Germany. And then I was hungover by the time we got to the destination. And when that plane opened, it was 95 degrees, straight sunlight, humid. I'm like, oh God, why? But the good thing is I didn't get hit with that culture shock that we all get hit with when we, go to the desert,
Mm-hmm.
um, because I was hungover, so I couldn't really open my eyes.
I'll, I will never. I'll never forget that feeling stepping off in '03 down there. That good God, that was the biggest shock of my life.
Hmm.
We stepped off the plane, and it right there in Kuwait,
Yeah.
and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, I want to say, in the middle of April, and it was
Yeah.
still 100 degrees outside.
Yes.
We got off the plane. And I went, oh my God, what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when they tell you, 150 in the summertime in the daylight, 100 at night, they're kind of exaggerating, but not really. Not really.
No,
Not
it
not really at all.
yeah, it was definitely
There's,
hot.
yeah, there's really not a whole lot of exaggeration when they tell you that's the temperature. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it
It-
got pretty damn close.
oh yeah, it was. I know in '03 was just the worst out there. Good Lord,
Right?
I don't know how we survived. I'll
Hey,
never.
hey, you did. Did they give you guys alcohol rations? Did they
No,
do that shit to you guys? Or were you not allowed to drink at all?
we weren't allowed to drink. We got our first beer in, let's see here, from the '03 to '04 trip. I didn't get any. The '05 to '06 trip, however, we were given 2 Budweisers for the Super Bowl.
Nice.
And that was it. But I'll tell you what, I've never been a Budweiser fan, but when I drank that one, I was like, good Lord, this is good.
Yes, right? Then but it's also a shock because it's like you've gone all year without a drop of
Mm.
alcohol. Then you throw 2 Budweisers down your throat, and you're like, "This is how am I buzzed right now?"
Oh yeah. It's, just pure
Like,
pea water.
yeah, it's piss water with the name Bud Light on it, but like
Yeah.
you 2 of them, and you're
Mhm.
so excited you throw them right down, and then you're freaking buzzed off of that. Like, how is this happening right now?
Yeah, it
Like, but
was it was different. That's for sure.
yeah, it was an adventure. Absolutely. Oh man, I don't miss it though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't do 9 years, but I did. Yeah, I don't miss it at all. I think I was already done with it before I got there, which is a weird thing to say because I grew up in a military family, and then I did 4 years of ROTC.
Okay.
So when I finally joined the military, like the act went in, I was like, I'm already done with this shit. Like my funnest moment was boot camp. I loved boot camp. That was my funnest time. And then after that, I'm going into the actual service, and I'm like, I no. Like I thought that I'd be up for it. Like, yep, I was raised with this, and I wore the uniform for 4 years already, and pranced around people that have no idea what they're gonna do with their life. But and I thought I'd be like excited. No, not even close. And then I didn't have a very good time either because my deployment caused my first divorce. So it's like it was a giant pity party. Um, but I really didn't have a good time. I also had a huge issue with authority, which is kind of weird because, that I've heard stories like that before, where you're raised in a military family and either
Yeah.
you're completely with the system and you enjoy it, or you're raised in a military family and you're like, fuck these people. So I became one of the fuck these people.
It, it's we've had I remember we had a guy like that. I don't even think he lasted 6 months with us before we were, putting him through the system to kick him out because he wouldn't show up to work. He would just come in just belligerent, just yelling, and we're like, nah, screw this kid. We were trying to have as much fun as possible. We
Yeah.
made it, a fun environment. It wasn't any of this, military, look at your NCO and snap to, parade rest and all that. Nah, we'd sit around and just joke and bullshit the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, mine was like that too until I deployed.
Mm,
I mean, my home base was fucking fantastic. Everyone was by first names, even up to the colonel. It was all first names. Um, which I felt really weird doing that. I never called my colonel by his first name. I always called him sir or colonel. I could
yeah.
never. And he's like, would you please just call me? Like, no, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Um, but like the lieutenants, that the butter bars that everyone made fun of, yeah, they were all first name. Um, all the sergeants and everyone was first name until business was business, and then it was rank.
Oh yeah.
And then when I deployed, everything was ass backwards. Dude, I just no. First of all, I don't know any of you, so immediately I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know any of them. So, and it wasn't that I didn't trust them. Of course, I trusted them.
Yeah.
But it's like that. I don't think that trust needs to be earned. I think respect needs to be earned. So it's those
Oh yeah.
people that have the sergeant stripes on that are like, I don't know you, so like what you're saying means nothing to me. Unfortunately, I was that kind of person. Like, I'm not gonna respect you just because you have the rank on your shoulder. Like, dude, fucking, show me that you deserve it. Because you get those assholes that
All
are
right.
really cool, when they're down here,
Yeah.
and then they go up here and they become pricks, and then they go up here and they become bigger pricks. Um, and the bigger pricks are who I was deployed with, unfortunately. So yeah,
Yeah. No,
it was a bad time.
it I tried not to get that once I earned my stripes. I was like, no, I'm not gonna turn into that. I still hung out with everybody, I used to
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
But when it came to business, they knew it was
oh yeah,
business. I would
oh
be
yeah,
in there, turning wrenches right with them.
yeah.
If I didn't have all those reports to write. So
Right? How high up did you go?
I only made it to 5. I wanted to get my 6, but they said the only way for me to get my 6 was if I re-enlisted, and I said I will not re-enlist unless I get my 6.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, you know what, forget it. Let's see what re-enlistment's options they have. They offered me $50,000 signing bonus.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's do it. The day I'm
Right?
getting ready to walk in front of my commander, they said, "Oh, we're sorry. We had your wrong MOS down. You're not qualified for the 50,000." I was like, "Oh, so what am I qualified for?" They said, "Oh, you can go wherever you want." I was like, "Okay, get me anywhere besides Fort Carson." They said, "Oh, that's the thing. You have to stay in Fort Carson." I said, "No." I was like, "See ya."
Peace.
And then unfortunately, they stop lost me right after that. And I had to go to another deployment. So I made up my mind at that point. I said, when this is over, I'm done.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yep. Yep. Yep.
and then I got home. My kid was or my wife was pregnant when I went over the last one, the last deployment, and then I came home to watch him get born. I didn't come back till he was a year old. And I was like, nah. I looked at them and said, see ya.
Yep. I mean, that was mine. I had to make a choice. I had a child already before I deployed, and then I had to make a choice. Do I wait to go until my kid is born and
Mm,
miss, all that time, or do I miss the birth and come home when they're still young? And I chose the second one. So I missed, like, I got the birth on video.
oh
That
yeah.
was it was sent to my email, so I got that video. It wasn't live, but I did get to like see her be born. But I wasn't there. But it was either I missed the entire first year, or I only missed like 6 months of their life. So I chose the second one.
Yeah. I knew people in our last deployment that actually got to sit in a room and have like a live webcam and actually watch it.
Yeah,
I was like, no.
yeah.
That would
Well,
just
no,
be a little weird.
yeah. I mean, like it was. It is because like you're not there. So like when you're actually there watching them be born, you want to you want to cheer, like come on, let's go. But like you're talking to a computer, and
Yeah.
it's like they can't hear you. So you're just like woo, like no, you're literally yelling at a football game where the players can't hear you. Like that's exactly what that is.
Come on, you can do it. Push
Go.
harder.
Oh man, I'll tell you. I had the 3 before I even got with and or married my wife now. We've been together 9 years, but prior to that, I already had 3 from my first marriage. Um, and my fourth but her first was being born, I pushed the nurses out of the way and said, "I got this. Like I've already done this shit. I've already been here. Like I missed my second one I'm gonna go full bore into my fourth one. And my wife is a very specific kind of person. So she's telling the nurses, you know, you need to push my leg. I need the pressure up here. I need the pressure up here. And they just weren't doing it. So I was like, you know what, move. And I was like those coaches at games. I had both the legs up. I was like, yeah, like put and the fucking doctor couldn't help but look at me because I went up to them and I was like, look, she's anemic right now due to the tests of her pregnancy. Do we have blood for transfusions just in case? And the doctor's looking at me like, I was like, yeah, I've done this before. Like, can we have the carts in here? Like, don't wait until the last fucking minute till I'm yelling at you saying, hey, I told you to have that here. Get the damn cart in here just in case.
Well,
Yeah, the just like they were looking at me because like the fact that I knew what their job was before they even told me or my wife.
yeah. Yeah, it's like my oldest son, or not my oldest, my youngest, he's got some issue with him where his head is actually very, very large.
Yeah,
I forget what the hell they call it. But anyways, we went through all this stuff and we actually had one doctor was like, okay, well, we can fix him. But that requires brain surgery. And I'm like, he is a month old. You are not going in there and cutting his damn head open.
yeah,
They're like, oh, but you know, he'll be miserable. And I'm like, he does not seem miserable at all right now. He just has a basketball for a head and a Lego for a body.
yeah.
I'm like, but yeah, sometimes doctors can be a little strange.
They can. They like I understand that they're just trying to do their job, but some of them go a little too far and they use like scare tactics to get you to sign the dotted line. And it's like, no, dude, this is what the recruiter did. Like, you need to back off. Like
And
I'm not being railroaded again. I mean, but did he grow into it?
not really. He still
Not
has a very
really.
large head.
Okay,
Like,
gotcha.
he cannot wear a hat. We have to specially order hats for him.
Okay,
Like, I give him my hat and it doesn't fit very well on his head, but both him and my wife both have fairly large size heads, and I guess it runs in her side of the family. So, but
okay,
there's absolutely nothing wrong with him. Kid is
right.
smart as can be. I mean, like right now, he knows every single wrestler on WWE, AEW. He can tell you their heights. They're all. I'm going, man.
So I mean, it's just to kind of help paint the picture. Um, is it like cartoons where the main character has like the really skinny, like pole shaped body and the head's a little too big?
It was when he was a baby.
Okay, but that's what I
Now
mean. That's what I mean. He grew into it.
he's grown into it, but you could still tell it's still fairly large. It almost looks like a regular person wearing a K-pod.
Okay, fair enough. He's a happy kid though, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Kid runs around like, you know, happiest kid in the world, and we're trying to get him to be more outdoorsy. But of course, with our stupid weather here in Colorado, that's hard to do.
Right. What kind of weather you guys have there right now?
Right now, I think we're mid 40. Oh, actually, we're at 50 degrees.
Oh, there you go. What are you used to?
This time of
Like,
the year, we're normally maybe high around 40
okay.
for the max, and we actually got some snow coming up this weekend. Oh, it's actually moving in tonight.
What's outdoor weather there?
Uh, geez, I'll go out. Like I've been out in shorts at. Oh, kitty.
That's meatball.
I'll go out and hang out in shorts and 20, 30-degree weather as long as the sun's out.
Well, yeah, but we're insane. I'm talking about your children.
Oh, my children. I don't know, maybe 40.
Come on, we're crazy. That's a whole, you
It
can't compare that.
I'll never forget that first blizzard we had many, 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 many years ago. I'm outside in a tank top and my army shorts, and I'm out there shoveling the snow to make a sled hill for me and my wife to have fun on, and
Yeah.
it's like 10 degrees out, and she's staring at me like I'm stupid. I'm like,
But like, it's not that cold. I know. We've lived here in Florida. April will be 5 years, so it's
Okay.
coming up. Yeah, mid-April will be 5 years. So, but for the other part, it was all up north, eastern.
Wow.
So, like, I was born and raised in New Hampshire, and then went all over New England. So
Woo.
the coldest, I think, the last year, like when we finally said enough is enough, in December, it reached -35.
Holy.
And my wife was at work at the time trying to change her fucking tire on the vehicle. And because I got rides to work. Like, my job was good to the point where the person that I worked with, shoulder to shoulder, drove right by our house. So I just hopped in his car. And then she took the car to work, and while the kids were at school, and it reached -35, like, during the day, not even during the fucking night. It reached that during the day. And she's out there trying to change a tire because she had a flat tire, and she calls me up and tells me, because I didn't know, I wasn't outside. I
Yeah.
worked indoors. I went home in a hot car. I went into a warm place. Like, I didn't go outside. I was the fuck outside, because I knew there was snow, it's winter, and it's cold. I'm not going outside. I'm not a big cold person. But she tells me that, and I was like, okay, like, we're gonna make our decision now. So we decided when taxes came in, we were gone, and we were gone. It was enough was enough. I had dealt with cold for 26 years.
It.
I was done.
We don't get those kind of colds here.
Yeah,
Um,
I was done.
yeah,
It
I
was
think
over.
the coldest I've ever seen it, and actually working outdoors, was like -10. I think it was.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that really screwed it up was the military, believe it or not, because I don't know what the hell it was, because I didn't volunteer for it. But every single time winter was coming, like while I was in the service, every single time it got a little bit cold, I was sent somewhere warm for training or for this or for that. And for years I didn't see winter. I saw like Texas weather. I saw Florida weather. I saw South Carolina weather. I saw Arizona weather. So when I finally got out and experienced my first winter in all that time, it almost killed me. I was like,
Right?
dude. But then I ended up sticking around because, like, it's all my kids knew, first of
Yeah.
all. And then my wife, I met her when she lived in New Hampshire, alongside me. I met her when she was there. And then she ventured back down to Jersey, where she was born, where she used to live. And then when her and I got together, she moved from Jersey up with me. And I, like, while we were discussing this, getting together and like moving in
Mhm.
together, I told her, I was like, I want to move. Like, I'm gonna pack up and move to Florida. And she was like, oh no, I want mountains and blah blah blah. And Jersey's flat. I want mountains. I want the beautiful. I was like, okay, whatever. So all that tax money went towards shit that needed, like, fucking rent and bills and staying warm and all this other
Yeah.
crap. Not 1 year after that, she's like, it's too cold, I want to move. And unfortunately, at that point, we were like financially kind of strapped. So it wouldn't be another 3 years before we could actually move. So, like,
Yeah.
I had the window right there, and I closed it because she said she wanted mountains. And then before the next tax season, she's telling me she wants to move. I'm like, God damn it. Like, oh, fucking God. Ugh. So, yeah, another 3 years we finally moved, like when we were on the brink of friggin' going absolutely insane. We finally moved, and I've never looked back. We drove from Florida to New Hampshire to see my dad last year. But it wasn't cold. I think we went up in April or May.
Okay.
It was a little cold to us at night, especially when we went to the countryside to visit my sister, and she lives out in the woods, and I'm in fucking shorts, and they have a bonfire, and I'm still cold. I'm like, why are we up here?
That's
Yeah,
that's
the drive sucked. By the
oh
way,
yeah.
oh my god, you're talking 1,600 miles.
Ooh.
So we stopped in North Carolina to visit her aunt and uncle. The uncle actually married us, so we keep in touch with them a lot. And then we drove from North Carolina all the way to New Hampshire, like nonstop. Spent a few days there and then drove back. And I had told her, I was like, we're not going from New Hampshire down to North Carolina without stopping. So I picked a spot that was pretty close, got a hotel room, got up early in the morning, got back on the road, stopped back in North Carolina for a breather to see them again, made our way down to Florida. But that drive sucked so bad. It was, we were on a 10-day break. 5 of those days was driving.
Oh damn.
It
No,
sucked.
no.
Yeah. Just to get to like our ultimate destination took 5 of those 10 days. So we really, with the aunt and uncle, it's like, hey, bye, hi, bye. Like we got, I think, 2 days with my dad, and I think maybe 2 days with her aunt and uncle, and we wanted, obviously wanted more, but yeah, it fucking sucks. So next time we're gonna fly. The only issue with flying is, of course, the COVID thing, making sure that we're all, because you don't have to be vaccinated to get on a plane. You have to show a negative test to get on a plane. However, I know how much those things suck because I take a lot of those phone calls where people are like, hey, I tested a week ago and I took the rapid. They said it was only supposed to be a day. Sorry, man, we're so backed up. It's not a day anymore. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, next time it'll be flying. I ain't
I
driving that shit again.
that's what I wanted to go out and see my brother just moved down to Alabama, and yeah, he's in the military right now. I wanted to go out
Yeah.
there, but I'm like, I don't want to drive.
Yeah. It sucks, man. Driving sucks.
Because
Like long distances, especially with children, it sucks.
I mean, the good part about driving is my parents are in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So at least I could, get to them. But that whole Kansas section, if you've ever driven Kansas, oh my God.
Yep. Yep.
I've wanted to stop to go see that 5-legged cow that they keep talking about in the world's largest prairie dog. If you've ever seen it sticks in my head. I see them every time we drive through there. They got the big billboards up that say, "Hey, come see the 5-legged cow," or "Come see uh the world's largest prairie dog." And I'm like, see, that would be something fun to go check out.
Yeah. I mean, hell, you know what? After that length of driving, like literally looking at nothing,
Yeah.
seeming like you may as well be driving through the blank page of a storybook, going to see the world's largest ketchup bottle would be exciting. Like, I don't care what it is, just give me something to stop the car
Oh, it's yeah.
and get out and be like, ooh, like, give me anything. I don't care what it is.
Hell, I was even half tempted to get my own pilot's license and get an airplane and be able to just fly it so I wouldn't have to actually drive through that damn state ever again.
Right? You'd have to turn your backyard into a tiny airstrip. So you could just have it at your house.
That
Just
would
borrow
be nice.
just borrow, it'll be fine.
I'll just go through and buy every house on the block and,
Yeah.
yeah,
Bulldoze them all, turn it into an airstrip.
yeah, perfect.
Be like,
Like
hey,
that,
in exchange for your house, I'll fly you for free. How's that sound?
right.
There you go. Where are we gonna live? I don't know. I didn't work that part out, but you do need to leave.
That's not a bad idea. I wonder if I could get a petition to do that.
Oh, I doubt it. I doubt it. No, they would all turn around and be like, no, you know what? You leave.
Right. I am the newest one on the block, so well,
New kid on the block. Oh yeah.
I've only been here 4 years. I think we're the newest ones on the block.
Damn. Is that a community where people are there for life? That kind of a
Pre-
thing?
Pretty much. The guy across the street from me, his mother actually owned the house that I bought.
Okay.
And he was gonna buy it, but then he was like, "No, I'll let somebody else take it." After he saw what the people who flipped the house did to it. I'm still
Oh,
fixing all of their screw ups.
of course. Fix and flip. Yeah, yeah. Whenever I have one of those kinds of phone calls, I want to tell them not to do it, but of course I can't because I'm trying to earn business for the people I'm taking the phone call for. But yeah,
Mhm.
fix and flips every time, man. It's nothing but a nightmare.
It's the worst. Like one of the bathrooms in the house, I didn't realize it at the time, but they didn't put the toilet on the ring correctly. They actually only put it on halfway. And so when I went to go put a new floor in the bathroom, lifted up the toilet seat, that wax ring was all bent over and all. I'm like, and you could just see where it just like splashed all over the back of the tub. I'm going, oh God. So I had to rip everything out, replace the whole subfloor. I'm going, I'm like, I don't want to touch the other bathroom. I'm gonna just let that one fall apart.
So one of the worst stories that I've heard with bathrooms, especially, um, and thank like no one got hurt, which was surprising. But they had a one-story home, but it had a basement. I guess basements for some reason aren't counted as stories.
No.
So it was a one-story home with a basement, and it had two bathrooms. One of the bathrooms looked a little bit rough when they bought it, but like, oh hey, we'll just fix it up over time, that kind of thing. Well, they went to take a shower. They got into the shower together, young couple, friends of ours, got into the shower together, fell right into the basement. The whole damn thing. Yeah, the whole thing. The whole damn shower. Like as they were showering and they were doing their thing in the shower, they fell right into the damn basement.
Oh, that's
And
that's
I don't mean through the floor of the shower. I mean the whole freaking shower. Right off, just right into
what
the
the
yeah, fell right into the damn basement. So just be glad that that wasn't your toilet. You sit down on the toilet to let one loose, have a nice fucking BM reading the newspaper, and you fall into your basement. Just be glad that shit didn't
I
happen,
that makes me glad that I only have a crawl space, so it's only a 3 foot drop.
right? Yeah, but yeah, they went straight down into and then there's water spraying everywhere because the pipes busted out of the wall. So they immediately had to call the city. Like the guy had to run out of the house wrapped in a friggin' towel and turn off the main water line so it quit flooding their basement. And then he had to call up the city and be like, "Hey, who the hell owned this house before us?" And yeah,
That
yeah.
holy dude.
I mean, just
Yeah.
imagine that shit. Like, goddamn.
Right?
I never buy houses with basements ever since that story. Like, no, I
I
don't
wa-
care. I don't care if I built the house myself. It's not having a basement. It's not having a full basement. Screw the basement.
I mean, I got plenty of room. I could keep adding on here. I got enough room to add plenty, some more space. I don't need a basement, but
Nice.
I gotta do something in here eventually because God, we have one wall, so I have a slider goes out into my backyard. Well, it looks like they had ripped that entire wall out to put in this new slider.
Yeah.
Well, the wall is warped. I tried to
Oh,
put shelves on it, put the shelf
yeah.
on it, just goes clank, 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 clank. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me.
Sounds
So
like
it's like,
fun.
all right, I gotta, eventually take out the wall because my wife wanted to do shiplapping on it to make it look right, but I'm like, there's no way until I repair that,
Yeah.
and that means ripping out the whole wall, ripping out the drywall, taking out the studs, putting in new. I'm like, no, we'll paint it.
Yeah. Basically, just paint it. Kind of forget it's there.
Yep, until I go to sell it and buy something bigger.
Right. It would be one of those funny things though. Like imagine every wall in your house has something on it except for that one. It'd be a good story. People come through like, what's with this wall? And then you hand them the board. Be like, try to make that flat.
I had eventually put the shelves up there so we could, she could hide the stuff on there, but you could see the gaps
Yeah.
in there. And I would tell everybody, I'm like, oh yeah, go look at that. And they'd look and go, holy, I said, yep.
How big's the gap?
Yeah,
Like significant?
yeah, you could fit speaker wires and power cords behind it.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
If you look down it, you could clearly see that big bow.
Now, here's a question. Would you rather it be the wall that's bowing or the floor?
Oh, the wall.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Just a question.
yeah, that floor, it would be a nightmare to try to
Yeah. When
fix
you
that.
when you can put a pen on the floor and it just keeps rolling, I think
Yeah,
I'd
that would
rather
suck.
it be the wall. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, fortunately, you could get under the house and jack it up and do all that, but no.
Nah. I'm good.
No, I'll
Nah,
deal
I'm
with the
good.
warped wall.
Right? For sure, man. Definitely deal with a warped wall before I deal with a warped floor.
Oh God, yes.
Yep.
Any day.
Do you guys have do you guys have special names for your porches? Do you have enclosed porches in Colorado?
No, not a lot of people actually have them unless you're out in the country.
Okay.
In
And
in the city now, you got I mean, you might have a small little porch, but nobody really ever just sits out there.
yeah, I'm still getting used to this because they call them Florida rooms, which kind of sounds high and mighty because we're in Florida.
Florida
Like
room.
this room, but this room was specifically designed to deal with Florida. It's here, I can show you this. So it's literally like that's the house.
Oh,
So
okay. It's
it and
kind of
then
almost like a sunroom type of thing.
yeah. But they call them Florida rooms for some reason. But the difference between a sunroom and this room is every one of these windows opens
Okay.
so that you can get a cross breeze
Oh,
because
okay.
the heat here in the summertime is so unbelievably brutal that they like I don't know how long this concept has been around. But I came down to Florida and they're like, you make sure when you get your house it has a Florida room. Isn't the whole thing a Florida room? We're in Florida. Like, it's a Florida house. What do you mean a Florida room? So they had to explain it to me. And I guess it's this. Like, our front porch is one giant screen.
Okay.
So if there's no wind out front, it doesn't matter. It's one giant screen. But in here, you open up the windows to get this cross breeze behind you, on both sides of you, to pray for, you know,
Some
to get
relief.
rid of that. Yeah, it doesn't always work though. This room gets so hot. We had to get a window unit, AC unit for that door over there. And now we can't use the door because our AC unit's in it. And I turn it on every time I have to come out here because it's like, yeah, even if it even if it's cold in the house, out here it's like 100 degrees. It's
Oof.
fucking yeah, it's brutal out
No.
here.
Anything over 75 is too hot.
75 is where I keep my air conditioning. All right.
We
Just so you know.
like right now our heater's set for, hold on, did my wife mess with it? Because normally I keep it at 69 because good
Yeah.
number.
Well, yeah, of course.
Um oh damn, she turned it up. Went up to 71 in there.
And yeah, that's 69, but it owes it a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Isn't
yeah,
that the joke? 70, it's 69, but it owes it one or some shit, or 68. That's that joke. Whichever one.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh shit. Is it really? God damn. You are you're in Colorado. What time is it for you guys there?
It's just about turned 3:30.
So you're mountain time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're 2 hours behind me.
Hmm.
We're taking off in 30 minutes to go bowling.
Ooh.
Get away from the kids.
Hey.
Oh no, we're about to spend 2 weeks with the children. So yeah. their spring break is next week, and I work at home, so it's going to be constantly me and the kids. Dad, can I? Dad, can I? I'm working. Leave me alone. But Dad, he said, Dad, she's Dad, just leave me alone. I'm working. Please leave me alone.
I don't
Good
even
God.
know when we're doing our spring break.
You're going to want to check. They sneak right up on you. Well, because
I know.
everything here is a month behind normally, because they start school a month earlier than most. They get out in May instead of June. Like when we were up north, they started in September, they got out in June. Here they start in August, get out in May.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we start like the middle of August and they get out the middle of May towards
Yep.
the end of May.
Depending on how many days needed to be closed for this, that, and the third. Yeah. Yep. Yep. So that's what they do here. So their spring break is next week. No, sorry. Where are we at right now? We're at Saturday, right?
Yeah, today's
So
Saturday.
So this next week, like the 7th through, they go to school, and then the following week, starting the 14th, is when their spring break starts. And then after that, my wife and I are taking a week of vacation from work, and part of that vacation, the kids are going to be with us. So yeah, we're dealing with them for.
Well, that's gonna be us this summer. We're gonna drive out to St. Louis, be with my parents. My brother's coming out, and so we're just gonna leave the kids all there. Me and my brother and his wife and my wife. We're just gonna go and leave them there and not
Hell
come back.
yeah.
Just let my parents deal with the kids.
Hell yeah, man. Like, look, we miss you, but they miss you more, and we need some. We're leaving.
Oh yeah. I'll just be like, nope. You just bought a new house. You got a big basement in there. Just let them run down there. Be free.
Right. You got plenty of closet space, right? Just
Oh
lock them
yeah.
in there for the day. You'll be all right. Just free up a couple of closets, one kid per. You'll be fine.
I keep telling them, we're gonna do that, and they keep saying, yeah, sure. And I'm like, man, you will not be able to handle all four of these. My two plus my brother's two. I'm like, no, there's no way.
Yeah, that's where my parents are at too, because I have four, and then my sister has one. And when I go up and visit, they come over and visit. So there's 5 kids, and then me and my wife and my sister, we leave,
Oh yeah.
and my dad and my stepmom are with 5 children, and we're just laughing in the car as we drive away, because it's like within an hour you guys are going to call us, I swear. But my dad knows, because my kids don't watch TV.
Yeah.
A lot of people find that to be strange for some reason, but we when I told you that we raise them old school, they don't have cell phones. My oldest daughter's 14, she doesn't have a cell phone. The only computer in the house is mine, and I do my work on it, so no one else touches it. They don't have iPads or gaming systems or any of that shit, and they get TV once a week if they did go to school. So when they go to my dad's, my dad knows this, and he goes, "Oh, Disney!" Click, and they're just glued to the TV. So he cheats. He cheats. He turns on that fucking TV, and all the children are just because they never watch it. So yeah, he cheats.
I
Damn
only
that man.
only got my oldest a cell phone, so when he goes to his friends' houses, it's like I can easily, get a hold of him.
Yeah,
I was like, here, you're 13, take it.
yeah. I mean, like, I should, but the reason why I don't is because, unfortunately, it's fortunate and unfortunate at the same time, because I know how I am with people. In a sec, my thing decided it was gonna die. There we go. That one decided it wanted to die. I had to switch. So, fortunately and unfortunately, my oldest daughter, my middle daughter, and my son are too much like me, where they hang out with their friends at school and then they come home. And they don't want to go to birthday parties, and they don't want to go hang out with their friends at someone else's house, because they don't know the rules there, and they don't have me there just in case something goes wrong and all this other shit. I'm like, dude, you guys are way too much like me. This is scary. But like my 7-year-old will be the first, if not the only, who gets a cell phone at 13, because she is a lot like her mother, where it's the neighborhood kids are playing. Can I go over to their house? Honey, I don't know their parents. So no, you're not going anywhere. But I'm saying that to her as like a safety thing, but in the back of my mind I'm going, I don't want to meet anybody. So just stay home, play with your siblings. So it's a lot of me, like, and she's gonna grow up to resent that, and I know that. Like my oldest 3 are like, yeah, that's just dad, fuck people. But my youngest is gonna be like, he never let me hang out with anyone. I don't like him anymore. That's gonna be my youngest child. Like if any of these kids grow up to hate dad, it's gonna be her.
I do that with I resent my mom for this, because when I was growing up, early 90s, I had a pager.
Yeah.
And I had to keep that hidden from my mother because she said that only drug dealers and gangbangers wore pagers.
Oh Jesus.
I'm like, oh, and then
Yes.
I
Make dinner.
finally got rid of that. And what happens? My sister turns 12 and she buys her a cell phone.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but look,
really?
hey, it's a cell phone, not a pager. A big difference.
I'm like, I wish I could find that again.
Right?
I wish I knew where that damn thing was to see if I could get it put on a network just to be able to have it again. Because I went out, got one of those cool clear orange cases on it. And,
Right?
oh, those were the good old days. I'd love to go back to the 90s.
Oh my God, yeah. Yes, trust me, I know. Everything was much simpler. You didn't have to watch what you said
Nope.
or how you said it.
No,
People did get offended by things, but it wasn't this like heightened level of sensitivity.
no, God, no.
Not even close.
Those were
Come
the
on,
fun
pups.
days.
Oh yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it has been cool as hell. Jesus. We've been talking for an hour and a half. I didn't even
Oh,
know that.
holy crap.
Yeah, right? Yeah, seriously. I'm looking at my the recording counter. Hour and 27 minutes and counting. Jesus.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. So, dude, I would talk to you for 4 or 5 hours. I really don't care. The way we keep switching subjects is awesome, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
been interesting right from the get-go. Unfortunately, I've got to take these wine asses outside, and then
Oh, yeah.
I've got to come in and wake up my wife so that we can go on our date. So, gonna have to call it, but I'd love to have you on again.
Oh, yeah. Just let me know and I'll be here.
Yeah. Just so you know, I post once a week on Saturdays. So if you actually, yeah, I'd have to give you the link to my channel so that you can subscribe if you want to. That's up to you. And share it around also if you want to. That's also up to you. But you'll see the one that I posted today, and then I post every week. So I think you're like fourth in line, but eventually it'll get up there.
Okay.
But there are other conversations to watch if you feel up to it.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a look. And you said it was the
Not the brightest crayon.
not the brightest crayon. Yeah, I'll look that up here in a little bit, and I'll get you a subscribe on there.
Yeah, you should actually be able to search that in YouTube and it'll pull it up or something similar.
Yeah,
But you'll see this ugly mug right here, and then you'll also see a red crayon on either side of the title.
Red crayons. I'll look for that.
And then not the brightest crayon. Yeah, it's fine.
I heard it's the favorite flavor.
Right. I decided to try and be clever by actually putting crayons in the title. Like a cool kid. What in the hell did you guys? Can you guys stop it? Jesus Christ. You put a new mat down on the floor and the cats hold it up like a friggin' accordion.
Come on, cats are assholes.
Yeah, we have 4 of them.
Oh shit.
They're all fixed and they're all male, but they're still assholes.
Well, yeah.
And we have 2 dogs. We're just a glutton for punishment. But all right.
All right, yeah, you go have a good date night, and yeah, we'll catch up with you later.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right, hey, you too.
Peace.
All right, see ya.